American military currency, the military payment certificates used at various bases and among by servicemen and women, the Americans and those working with them, either of service people of other countries or other very closely associated civilians living and working on the various bases overseas. They are paid in this money. So we continue after the previous series that we've shown in the previous member of this series. Now the new series are numbered 481, okay, 521, 541, and 591. The numbers mean that those were developed, probably printed in 1948, even though they don't come out till 1951. These would be in 1952, these would be 1954, and these would be in 1959. However, the actual dates that these were released would be June 20 of 1951. Suddenly the previous design is replaced with this. And then suddenly again on May 25, 1954, that would be abruptly replaced with this. And then on May 27, 1958, this would be abruptly replaced with this. And finally on May 26, 1961, this would be replaced with this. And there'd be another date that this would be replaced, but we'll continue that in the next one. So what did these look like? Well, the original series, as you can see, carries from before, first of all, a basic color combination, which, except for the second one where everything was red and blue, everything was dominated kind of these black and bluish whatever colors that these things had. So, but we see, again, the low denominations have the same design and pattern other than the denomination, 5 cents, 10 cents, 25 cents, and 50 cents. And the higher denominations, well, the 1 would be kind of unique all its own. And then the 5 and the 10, as you can see, have the same design and format. Also, you can see the 5 and the 10 are larger. So the way this works is that the 5 and the 10 are full size like normal American paper money. As you can see, the same size. We're very close to, give or take minor errors. All right, the $1, though it has the same height, would be visibly narrower. And then the smaller denominations would have the same width as the $1, but be discernibly shorter. So that was how they did these. So now that was the first group. Now with the next one, we introduced color and sort of change how some of this works. So we'll see here. So now we have the lower denominations still have the same designs other than the denomination, but as obviously shows, they are different color combinations of ink. But they still carry the same design and have the same size. The $1 still has the same size, but a wholly different design and color combination and so forth than the others. Then the $5 undergoes a rather interesting change. The 5 here, in this case, is an intermediate size. It's just as tall as the regular dollar as we know it, just as the 10 is still the same height and the same size, but this one is now narrower, but not quite so much narrower as the $1. So it's an intermediate width. So 521 introduces all this color and it changes the size of the $5 bill. And then there's the $10 with its particular unique design. And so on it goes. So after that, there's the next series. So that one was introduced in the next one, 541, was introduced on May 27, 1958. So again, you see the same basic print design used for all the small fractional denominations, but at the same time, they differ only in the denominations that they show. And then the $1 has its own unique design. and it's kind of tall, but so forth, but narrower. The $5 is wider, but still not as wide as the normal, and has its own unique design. And finally, the $10 is the full size. And then we introduced in 1961, May 26, the 591 series is introduced. Again, a new design. Same design for all the lower denominations. Sorry, but this one's kind of rare. Don't know why, but there it is. Again, but with different colors, and of course in design differing only with the denominations called out on them. And then the $1 has its own unique design, and the 5 has its own unique design, and the $10 has its own unique design. And as you can see, the 5 is narrower than it was for 481, or narrower than the 10, which is all the same throughout. So these would be the changes. Now, before we flip to the other side, let's take a quick look at the one other really neat security device that these things had, and that had to do with their ability to fluorescence, ultraviolet lights. Some of these, it's kind of weak and unsure. As you get to the later series, it becomes more obvious and more specific. But let's see what we can pull out here. It's kind of hard to see this, but there's a little bit, some green lines in there. Okay. And in here, dang, it's hard to see, but it's there. Okay. Yeah, you see there's a whole pattern. You can't really see it very well with that, but it really lights up. And finally, the new series. Yeah, so you can see a very clear fluorescencing design. And that continues for all of these. The same. It's hard to get very much through the plastic. The ultraviolet light tends to stop, the plastic tends to stop most of the ultraviolet light. Okay, you can see that a little bit better. Oh, there you go. Now you can see some of that green there. Okay. Yeah, here. Yeah, okay. It's hard to see very much on this. I don't know. Yeah, they weren't always very careful about how much of this they did in the earlier years. Sometimes you see a little bit more. Okay, finally here, yeah, you can see some green lines. Green lines, green lines. Now, $1 had the same protection. That's one problem is they wear out. It's there. It does show a little bit. Yeah, $5. I don't know if you can see much through this plastic. Or same problem here. You can get a little bit here and there, but the plastic kind of makes it hard to see. Now look at that. See? And here, let's see. Once again, you see the green, the bright green squiggles when the fluorescent light is near. And finally here too. You can see it here too. It's in there somewhere. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So that was one other thing showing. Now finally, I have not showed the reverse sides. And that's the other thing. Once again, you can see that the designs on the back are the same, and indeed even the colors for the first of these, the 481. This is just newer than some of these others that are a bit more circulated. But even though the designs adapt a little bit for the different size and shape, presidential seal, the overall design remains the same. Except I do note somewhat different color combination on the $5. I'm not sure if that's something about that $5, like maybe a different printing, or if it's really something, the beginning of making something unique for the $5 to set it apart from the $10. That, interestingly enough, resembles the one and the smaller denominations in their color combination. So, moving along to the next series, you have this. Again, you see that other than the color combinations and the denominations, these lower series are all the exact same pattern, just different color combinations. The $1 has its own different combination, and note that girl, we'll see her again later on in the series. 5 has its own. Oh, let's turn this over so we can see the other side. Okay. 5 has its own unique look. Okay, and a 10 has its own unique and different look. Okay. Going to the next series again. Okay, and you can see there's a commonality between the colors between the front and the back of a given note, but that the colors are obviously different for each denomination. And the back side doesn't have any ultraviolet glowing print on them on none of these, so that's why I don't need to waste time trying to show anything like that. Okay, and the $5 is that, and the $10 is that. These symbols here kind of resemble what they call the poker chip signs on the back of the last of the large size $10 United States notes. Some other patterns are sometimes borrowed from other currencies and a whole lot of other official places. Finally, this last one, series 591, introduced in 1961, has this kind of a shell design. Again, the colors of the back will be equivalent to the colors in the front of each one, but that the design is similar other than the denomination. And the color, of course, let's see here, get this in there. So we have the same shell design. Okay. And the $1 has its own unique design. And finally, the $5 has its own unique design. And the $10 has its own unique design. And so, and if you look closely, all this lettering here, like here or here, the military payment certificate, has the same style of lettering as you would find on the more official things like silver certificate. So, I mean, you can see how the letters of certificate have the same shape. And that kind of peculiar form of block lettering is found on a lot of these. And as always, these are said to be for use only in United States military establishments by United States authorized personnel in accordance with applicable rules and regulations. So that was it. You had to be a military man and be able to show your necessary military IDs, and you had to have this money, and you could use this for on-base purchases or whatever you wanted to do. So thanks for watching this.